All right, this is Canadian Connection Network, and I'm your host, Joe Denz. On this week's show, we have 2015 Atlanta Braves first-round draft pick, Mike Soroka. Mike, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks for having me.
So, first and foremost, congratulations are in order. You just came off a championship season with Atlanta's affiliate, the Rome Braves. Had a hell of a season, so hats off to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was an unreal year from start to finish. First spring training, first full season, lots of firsts in there. A lot of innings under my belt this year, and it was pretty cool to get out there and really get to know the team a lot better. It hasn't really mattered throughout my junior career. It was never a consistent team. You know, I had the same kind of core guys, but to be on a team for one full year with the same group of guys pretty much was pretty special. And then to top it off with a big win at the end, it couldn't finish it any better.
So, you know, as far as winning that championship, what benefit, if any, does that bring to you going into this 2017 season?
It's a lot. I mean, we didn't have the greatest first half, but we did win the second half division. It's kind of different how it works in the minor leagues, but going in this year, we're definitely going to be inclined to start with the right foot forward. You know, we'll be ready this year. We're going to know what's ahead of us. We're going to know how to compete and play the game for 9 innings for every pitch to make sure we have another great season.
Now, you're touted as one of the higher-ranked prospects right now. You have the eventual call-up that's bound to happen eventually. How do you prepare yourself mentally when, you know, that does happen for you?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you always think about it. It's always in the back of your mind. It's one of those thoughts that you go to bed with every night. You put yourself in that spot on the mound and in front of 50,000, you know. You can't really prepare until you're really in it, until you know what you're doing. But I think preparation just goes into what I do every single day, what I do everything at CSI Calgary here, and every day on the field, just throwing every ball with intent to get better, and just improving every day. I think being as prepared physically and mentally is a big thing, and I mean, hopefully one day that day comes.
For sure. Now, you've obviously made a lot of good buddies playing in the Braves organization there, but how is it, you know, being obviously friends with these guys, but you're also competing for the top jobs? What's the dynamic in the dugout as far as that goes?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, there's not too many sports where you play a full season with people that you're competing with as well, but it's really not like that in the general atmosphere around the diamond. I mean, we're all in it for self-improvement, but at the same time, the Braves organization have made it very clear that they want to put winning as a team first. They want to build that culture that winning does matter, and playing the game the right way matters. So, I mean, we all know that we're in the same situation. But I mean, it doesn't stop us from becoming some of the best friends we'll have in our lifetimes.
For sure. So, you know, you're obviously a Calgary boy. As far as your draft went, you're one of the highest individuals to ever come out of Calgary. As far as your draft ranking goes, I believe the last one was probably roughly 20 years ago, give or take, and Chris Rietsma, the guy that I used to watch. 15 years ago, okay. A guy that I used to watch play Little League ball. What's your relationship with Chris, and what advice, if any, has he given you as far as your big league career goes? Yeah,
I've been very fortunate to have Chris Rietsma with me since I was 13 or 14. Ever since I came out of Little League, joined PBF Redbirds, and he was there Wednesdays while we threw our pens, as well as Jim Lawson and you know, Jordy Alexander as well. He's a BC kid, but he coached with us and played, I think, for the Kansas City Royals for a bit. So just coming up with them and really eventually being able to understand some of the more complicated parts of baseball through Chris was a big step for me. I mean, I say I always had a step forward going into professional baseball because of him, and because of just the conversations we'd have just every day about baseball. Sequences, pitch counts, all this kind of stuff. Just having him around just to pick his brain, not even talking about mechanic-wise, it was pretty special.
Now, like I said, you are a Calgary kid, and one only needs to look outside right now at the minus 25, minus 30 degree weather and tell that baseball is not our standard sport here. How was it that you came into baseball and not hockey like most of the other kids?
Yeah, so I played baseball and hockey, first hockey, and I really thought at the time that I was the next Kiprusoff.
Yeah.
Because when I was coming up, he was everything in Calgary. So that's how I got to be a goalie. And I was probably 10, 11, 12 when it started to kind of get serious, which is kind of crazy to me that kids are specializing when they're 10, 11, 12. That's what's needed to be good in hockey nowadays. And there's not too much room for other sports, which is kind of sad, but it's the reality right now. I found out that I didn't really like being a goalie every single day. I wanted to do other stuff, and other stuff meant baseball. And baseball kind of took off when I was 12. I was very fortunate. I made what started out as a Calgary team, but we ended up representing Canada at the Cal Ripken World Series, which is similar to the Little League World Series, just slightly different size regulations on diamonds and stuff like that. But it's very similar. And missed quadrant tryouts that year, and I think that's where it kind of took a turn that I wanted baseball instead. I found that I loved going to the cages every day because that was my joy. It wasn't because someone was telling me that's what I needed to do to be good. So coming to baseball every day was never work for me, and it still isn't.
Whereas hockey was back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to go skate around my 4x6 crease for an hour every day. It just didn't appeal to me anymore, and it didn't matter baseball what it was. I'd get my dad to go out and hit me ground balls, throw BP, whatever it was, catch my bullpen. Those are the best days because I had no expectations. I had no goals. I was doing it because it was fun, and that's how I got good.
That's awesome. So before we wrap it up here, on this show, we like to talk a little bit about personal development with elite level athletes. So is there anything that you add into your repertoire, whether it be, meditation, visualization, yoga, that most other people probably wouldn't do?
I think visualization was kind of inevitable for me. It wasn't ever really something that I tried to do or tried not to. It was just kind of something that I couldn't stop thinking about the night before I start. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm just already thinking about, finishing that changeup nice and low, ringing a guy up with a good high fastball or good low fastball low and away. It's just already going through my head. I don't try to. I can't help it. I think that's a large part of my preparation. But I mean, everything I do every day is designed to help me be a better athlete and person. I think that there's so much nowadays with media, social networking, that being who you are as a person is just as important as who you are as an athlete. So whatever it is, I mean, I owe it to the people that got me here, and to the people that will be supporting me through to the end.
That's wicked. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this, and wish you nothing but luck. I know you got spring training coming up here real quick, so best of luck, and I know we'll be seeing you on TV here real soon in Calgary. So
yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.